we're back again to another worksheet homework video for discovering pre-algebra. This is for worksheet 4-2, and we're back to looking at these opposite operation type of scenarios where we're trying to figure out what number goes here. So for this one, we're dealing with subtraction. So there's two things we need to worry about. Okay, so order matters in subtraction. We talked about this way in the beginning of this class. Order matters in subtraction and in division, but not in adding and multiplication. All right, so when we go about these, we're going to have to look at the order and see how we're going to go about it, okay? Because it's going to be a little bit difficult. If the first number is what's missing, cool. We just have to do the opposite operation of the number that we do have. If the second number is what's missing, well, we're going to have to go about it a different way because I'm taking from. So we're going to be looking at those scenarios in this one, and we're just going to be applying that common sense that we should be applying to everything reigns supreme in this. All right, so let's get started. Hopefully you've paused and you've graded your work. So let's zoom in and take a look at this worksheet. Okay, so for this first one, it is the second number that is missing, okay? All right, so I'm taking a missing number away from 12 to get 7. Well, I can figure out what that missing number is. Remember, for every addition problem, there's like 2 different ways you could subtract to get to those numbers. So there's 2 different ways to do this, okay? In this case, I'm going to have to subtract, okay? I'm going to have to take the 12 minus the 7 because I'm taking a number away from 12. So I got to figure out what that missing number is. When I do that, I figure out, hey, it's 5. Now let's test it by putting it back in the equation and see if I get a true statement. Well, 5 from 12 is 7. So there we go. I have a true statement. Now let's do all the ones like this, and then we'll go back and do all the ones that are the reverse. All right, again, I'm taking a number from 13. So 13 has to remain the biggest number. I can't go adding it to both sides. I'm going to end up getting a bigger number. Okay, I could subtract it from both sides. Let's try it that way. Because it's an addition, let's try subtracting it. Let me write this down here, actually. Because if I subtract it, I'm going to get a 0 here, which is one of the things I like to accomplish. And if I subtract it over here, I'm going to get a negative 11. So let's write out what we have. We have negative box. We don't know what this is, actually, right now. And it equals a negative 11. I don't need that 0. Well, now I got to get rid of that negative, okay? So the negative is going to flip the signs, and the box is going to equal 11. So I showed you how to do it one way for number 1, and now I'm showing you a different way for number 2. You've got to decide which way makes sense to you. All right, so let's jump down to number 6. In this case, it's a negative 6. So to get a 0, to get rid of it, I have to add 6. All right. Negative box, add 6 is going to give me a negative 9. That negative is going to change that negative to a positive. X equals positive 9. All right. All right, and I can check that. This is like adding up my debt, so if I add that up, I get a negative 15, and that is a true statement. So my opposite operation I did was add. All right, so that's the last one like that. So let's go and look at what happens when I'm taking a number away. When I have the number that I'm taking away, the number that I'm taking away from has to be the bigger number. That's why order matters in subtraction. So I know that this box that I don't know what it is, that is going to be a bigger number than the 6 or the 9. All right. So a good way of doing that is look and see that this 6 is subtracting and add that to both sides. So we're adding, that's our opposite operation. This is going to give me the desired 0 that I need. Okay, remember back to the zero property of addition and subtraction. All right, and then I add these two together and get 15. I can always double check by throwing it in there and seeing if it's true. 6 take away 15 is 9. It's true, so my missing number is 15. All right, so in this one, I'm subtracting 2. Got to do that opposite operation of adding 2. Excuse me. So I'm going to add 2 on both sides in order to get the desired 0 I need over here to get rid of it and get my box by itself. 13 plus 2 is, ooh, I'm wrong, 15. It's 15. This should have been 15 the whole time. Sorry about that. Sometimes I get them wrong the first time. Sometimes I can't read my own handwriting from my answer piece. All right, so that one's 15. All right, so in this one, we have something a little bit different going on. We have a really small number over here. So I know I have a really small number to begin with. So first thing, but not as small as this one. It still has to be bigger than this one. All right, so the first thing I see is that the 2 is subtracting, so the opposite operation is to add. That's going to give me a 0 here. I'm going to add 2 over here. If I owe $6, but I have $2, I still owe $4. So my missing number box has to equal $4. All right, and if I put that in, I should get that. It's adding up my debt. -4 minus 2 is -6. And we are done. 2 more. All right, again, I see that that 5 is subtracting, and I know the opposite is adding. So I'm going to add 5 over here. That's going to give me the desired 0. Add 5 on this side, giving me unknown box equals 15. This one was tricky, and you probably had a lot of trouble with it, and the reason is because it doesn't look right. I have -6 on both sides. If you have -6 on both sides, you've kind of balanced it already. It's already true. You don't need anything in the box to make it true. -6 does, in fact, equal -6. So you're done. It's already true. But we can do it. We can add the 6 to both sides because that's the opposite operation. And our box equals a 0. Our missing number is 0. All right, that's it for this worksheet. I'll see you guys in class.